If you grew up playing Mario, Crash, Kirby, Sonic, or any other platformer out there, then you will absolutely love Astrobot. First showcased as a part of the Playroom VR demo from Sony, it was so popular that they just had to make a whole game. You start out flying around the galaxy in your spaceship with all your Astrobot friends when a big mean alien finds you and destroys your ship and sends all your buddies flying through space. It's up to you to go from planet to planet and find your friends and get the gang back together to take on the mean alien. Instead of being a side-scroller, you advance forward. You can control your Astrobot with your DualShock 4 controller, which also shows up in-game. And you are shown as another robot that floats overhead and helps out along the way. As you collect your friends from each level, you collect upgrades to your controller, including a tightrope, ninja stars, and a water gun. All the staples of a traditional platformer are here, with some added abilities. My favorite thing is your perspective and the ability to look in 360 degrees at each level. There are many hidden bots in the game, and the only way to find them is by turning around and looking behind you or above you. If you want a VR game that the whole family can enjoy, including the young ones, I would highly recommend Astrobot Rescue Mission for the PlayStation VR. With 8 hours of gameplay and 27 levels, this is definitely one of the must-have games for the PlayStation VR, and why I am giving it 5 out of 5 here on your weekly tech update. America's infrastructure is crumbling around us. The American Society of Civil Engineers' latest infrastructure report card from 2017 rated the nation's roads, bridges, airports, and water systems at a paltry D+. However, recent advances in a novel form of concrete could help us rebuild our roadways to be stronger and more resilient than ever before. It's called ECC for short, or simply bendable concrete. Originally developed in the early 1990s by Dr. Victor Lee, a civil and environmental engineering professor at the University of Michigan, ECC is to normal concrete what the $6 million man was to Steve Austin. Better, stronger, and more expensive in every way. By using fine sand from the Mississippi River rather than microsilica, PVA fiber that lacks the usual oil-based coating used in this application, and locally available fly ash rather than conventional concrete, ARC's team has produced an ECC that only costs 2.5 times what regular concrete would. Now dropping the price of ECC from 4 times the price of regular concrete to 2.5 times may not sound economically feasible, but they only need to use it half as much to perform the same function. The flexibility is the key here. Best of all, ECC can be used as a patch over existing concrete, improving its resilience without requiring the entire structure to be torn down and rebuilt. Unfortunately, LSU's ECC mix isn't quite ready for use just yet. It must first be put through its paces at the Louisiana Transportation Research Center Pavement Research Facility. There, researchers are constructing a 210-foot-long test roadway, which will undergo accelerated wear testing over the next few months. The tests are expected to last about a year, and the data they generate will help the researchers fine-tune the mix. It's hoped that the ECC the team developed will be ready for widespread development within the next decade. And happening in this week's What The? A crime that I definitely could have been guilty of committing at one time in my life. In fact, I probably was. I just probably wasn't caught. A driver in Manitoba, Canada, tried to excuse his speeding by telling police officers that he'd been listening to Mötley Crüe's Kickstart My Heart at the time of the offense. The glam metal band's November 1989 single, which featured on their 5th studio album, Dr. Feelgood, apparently came on the radio in the driver's car just before he was pulled over by Royal Canadian Mounted Police, which the driver then tried to use as justification for his speeding. A post on the RCMP's Facebook page on Monday confirmed the incident, which saw the driver, who was driving at 145 kilometers an hour, that's about 90 miles an hour, being fined $639 for the offense. Now, according to the post, the RCMP officer who pulled over the unnamed driver was also listening to Kickstart My Heart at the same time as they were both tuned into the same radio station. The incident brings back memories of an Andrew WK fan who was also fined for speeding in January of 2018 and later claimed that they'd been inspired to go over the speed limit by listening to one of WK's songs. WK offered to pay the fine, telling the speedster, "I was responsible for the sonic party power that caused you to speed." Thanks for watching your weekly tech update. If you have a story you think we should feature on the program, shoot me an email, djraymcneil@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook at Your Weekly Tech Update, and check out the podcast, audio and video versions available on iTunes, Spotify, Google, Audio Burst, and elsewhere on the interwebs. Till next time, I'm Ray McNeil. Good night, world. Your Weekly Tech Update brought to you by Holiday Home Care, Phillip Island, Victoria, Australia. It's your turn to relax.